everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a quick video on foundations. So I'm going to be talking about my absolute favorite foundations, why I recommend them and who I recommend them for. So let's get straight into the video. So just quickly first, I'm going to talk about a primer. This is the MAC Oil Control Lotion. So if you don't know my skin type, I get an oily complexion and I do have open pores. So before I use any foundation, I go in with a pore minimizing product. Then I always go in with a primer all over my face to prep my entire face for foundation. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about my latest obsession. I'm completely in love with this and I'm telling all of my friends and family about it and I'm making everyone get onto it. So it is a combination of two. It is the Napoleon perdis BBB Cream and it is the Napoleon perdis China Doll. I've spoken about China Doll before because I truly love this foundation. It's definitely one of my favorites. However, I find that especially in winter, it can be a little bit drying because it's oil-free and it is aimed for an oily complexion. So I take the BB cream and what this does is this has an extreme amount of glow in it. So I pop this on first, so after my primer. This preps my skin and gives it a really glowy, dewy, just beautiful liveliness, and it has an SPF of 30 as well. And then when I go in and put this foundation over the top, I don't need to use as much of it and it gives me a flawless finish and it doesn't look powdery and dry. It just looks flawless, a little bit glowy, but still matte, if that makes sense. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about one of my something that I've just gotten onto recently, and it's the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. So this one is a super expensive foundation. I think it is about $90 in Australia. However, it is absolutely gorgeous. It is a complete luxury product. You can feel the quality of it when you're putting it on your skin. A little bit does go a long way. It's a medium coverage, it's not a full coverage, but I think it's absolutely beautiful for a normal skin type to a dry skin type. As it says, it's a luminous, silky foundation. So it kind of has that velvety feel to it and it does spread a really long way. It lasts very well. Yeah, normal to drier skin types, it does go very oily on me, but I do like that dewiness, and in winter, like, I do need that little bit more hydration. So yeah, I really love this one. So the next one is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. This one is an absolute maximum coverage. This is for the oily skin types and it is for someone who wants it to stay 24 hours because this really does last through anything. The thing that I find with this is that it does have an SPF of 10 and it can flash back quite strong compared to other foundations that have an SPF of 10. But you just need to use like a spray foundation or something just to add a layer over this just to kind of cancel out the foundation rather than to make it thicker, because this does have a lot of coverage in it already. I love this one. This is in the shade Cashew and I have the Sand Beige as well, but it's a very matte finish, so I wouldn't recommend it for someone who's dry. It's definitely for oily, normal and combination skin types. And it's a good price, it's $50. So one of my girlfriends got me onto this one. This is the Stila Stay All Foundation. I love this foundation. Obviously I love all of them, that's why I'm mentioning them. So this one here is full coverage and it's good for, I think it's like aimed for oilier skin types, but it's not necessarily very mattifying. Like, I don't feel like when I've got it on, you know, I'm matte all day. I kind of feel like the oil still does come through a little bit, which I like. I don't want to look dry and powdery even though I am oily. So full coverage, really, really long wearing, similar to the Estee Lauder Double Wear, but not as drying and not quite as full coverage. Love this one. This one is in the shade Honey 8 and I'm really glad I found this one. And the last liquid foundation that I'm going to talk about is the NARS Sheer Glow foundation. This one is in the shade Devoe or Deville. This is the perfect color for when I'm not wearing any fake tan. It is a really beautiful full coverage foundation, but it is very glowy. It makes your skin look like skin. It makes it look like it's glowing. It makes it look like it's dewy. It's definitely for the dry to normal skin types. I like to wear it because I want my skin to glow sometimes. As I said, especially in winter, I want that little bit more of a glow. The thing with this one is because I am oily, especially around my nose, I feel like it moves a little bit during the day. Maybe because I've got the oils and all of that happening around there. But that doesn't really bother me because I work with makeup. I'll just touch up with a little bit of powder. but as far as everywhere else on my face, I find that it lasts really well. The only thing is that because it is more of a glowier finish, I find that it can make my pores stand out just that little bit. So if you don't have open pores and you're dry, you would honestly be obsessed with this. I think it is about $70, so it is quite expensive, but it's a good question would be, what's the difference between this and the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk? The Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk foundation is more natural, so it's a medium coverage. Still dewy, still really creamy. This one is maximum, very kind of thick, and it doesn't have that velvety finish. It has that creamy, it doesn't go to a velvet, it stays really, really creamy. It might make fun. Okay, so there is just a few little things that I want to talk about now. So one of them is the Napoleon Perdis Boudior. Feels so fancy when I say that. Boudior Mist Spray Foundation. So this here is not a setting spray, however it does make your makeup hold better, and I think it makes it last. It adds an extra layer, so it is a foundation. However, it's perfect for when you do have a big event or a big night or something and you want it to, why am I scratching my nose? If you do want your foundation to last that little bit longer and you just want it to look airbrushed, you pop a slight spray of this, like a deep breath in and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that's it. If you put any more on, it's gonna look heavy. So a really small spray of this, and then you put your powder on last. Makes such a big difference. It makes your skin look more flawless, more airbrushed, and a little bit photoshopped. One last little doobie whacker that I want to talk about is the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. This is a mineralized vitamin water, basically. And I like to use it when I finish my makeup. So I've done all my powders, my cheeks, everything like that. And then I hold it quite far away. I hold it like an entire arm's length away, because if you hold it up too close to your face, the drops kind of take your foundation off, and then before you even get a chance to get your beauty blender just to dab it all in, you've got like a couple of wet dots. So I found that I was holding it too close when I first started using it. So when I hold it that arm's length away, it puts a very fine mist all over, and then it makes my skin look dewy, and it kind of makes the powders not look so dry and powdery. It just makes it all look really like skin, kind of. So it's not a setting spray, it's a settling spray. I really like it. $28 in Australia. Can't go bloody wrong, mate. Okay, so the lucky last thing that I want to talk about, and keep in mind, I love all of these products. I honestly recommend these to almost everyone. This is one of the only setting powders that I am just obsessed with. I bought this, I think, about 3 years ago, and look how much I've used, and I use it all the time. It's not a translucent powder because it's not translucent. It has that beige kind of color to it. It's called Buff Visage powder, and it's by Ben Nye. I bought it online somewhere. I can't even remember where. I'll try and figure it out and link it down below if I can find it. Anyway, it was $15.90, cheap as chips. And this one's perfect for setting your makeup. It's perfect for oily people. I'm very oily. No matter what foundation I use, if I put this over the top, it is gonna hold it like there's no tomorrow. So if I was to use this over the top of the NARS Sheer Glow, I mentioned this can come off a little bit around my nose because I'm oily. If I use this over the top, does not come off. Even if I'm blowing my nose, if you know it's winter and I've got a runny nose, the combination of this with anything will just make it stay. But it's really mattifying, so I don't recommend it for someone who's dry. If you're normal or combination, you can probably get away with it, but if you're oily, this will be your best friend. And lastly, I just want to talk about beauty blenders. You can pick these up in multiple different brands. This one's just from Mecca Maxima. So the trick with these is to make sure they're really, really wet, and then I squeeze them out into an old towel. So they need to be really, really spongy. If it's too dry, it's going to just soak up all of your foundation. It's not going to actually deposit any on your face. So how I like to use these is I do all of my primers and everything. With my foundation, I slap it on an even coat everywhere with a brush, and then I take this and then I start pressing it, like doing this, tapping it all over my face. And what it does is it just seals it. It takes away any brush streaks, and it just blends it in, and it kind of pushes it into all the pores and all the little fine areas, and it just makes it look a little bit airbrushed in a sense. So I really recommend trying one of these. I know that you can get them from Target as well. Chi Chi has a good one. It's a yellow one and it has a flat top. They're like $10, so definitely invest in one of these because it's going to make your makeup look more flawless, and it's going to make your skin look like skin rather than that you've got makeup on your skin. Anyway guys, that brings me to the end of this video. If you have any questions about foundations, leave them down below and I'll be sure to get back to you ASAP. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!